for the Francisco Arenas SSA little mini tournament. So it should be very interesting. Francisco just put together a little short get-together type game, and or tournament, I should say. So it should be pretty good and should be fun. It was fun when we were out here last time. Hopefully my title's updated, and we'll see what happens. So first game of the night, Los Barazos Softball Club taking on 40 Deuce, and two evenly matched teams, so it should be an exciting one, to say the least. So we'll check it out. We are in a dome. This one is not quite as big as the dome out in Rosemont. Pardon me, folks. I got to kind of switch over here and try to get my chat overlay on. And so I'm giving you a little sideways view here, but okay, we got that launched. So you guys can drop me a message on whatever platform you are so I can make sure that that's working. And if somebody's watching us on SSA Facebook, on the SSA page, drop me a comment and let me know. So this is 16-inch style softball with a twist because we're inside 60-foot bases. Leadoff can't steal. And here's a swing. Sean Quinn leads off, and he guides it the other way for a leadoff single. Again, this dome just opened up basically a little bit more than a year and a half ago. There's Sean Quinn. So the turf brand new, all turf here. No real fence in the outfield. So if you hit the wall or whatever, I think if it's above the green, it's a home run. Here's Dom Jacoby, and I think that ball scraped the top of the roof. Sean Quinn is going to jog into third. So second and third, nobody out. Los Barazos coming out hot here. Again, if it hits the roof, it's in play. It's all you can get. Pretty sure it's a 1-on-1 count. They do have a little bit of an overhang down the left field line with the roof. Here's Rocco. And Rocco drives it the other way. That's going to drive in too. So Barazos here in the first. 3 hitters, 2 runs. Well, I'm using third-party software, FPL. If you send me an email at George@SSA Softball, I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. Little ground ball to Moretti at third. Clearly, Lou at short center was trying to make the throw. That'll be the first out. So they get the fielder's choice. And no scoreboard tonight in the building, so I got to keep track of the innings. We're in the top of the first. So Tommy Angston hits into the fielder's choice. It brings up Church. And he drives it toward the gap in right center. Almost a great catch. Outfielder went into a sit slide. Couldn't make the catch. Throw to the plate is not in time. Tommy Angston runs pretty good. He scored. So the center fielder looked like he was going to make the catch, but he dropped the ball. And there's one out. It brings up the pitcher, Jake. And right now we got a good view of Steve Rodriguez's best side. And there he walks the dog into right field. Another run's going to score. So Jake Zeman just threw it down the right field line. Drives in the 4th run. Still only 1 out here. It's going to bring up Logan. Playing third base tonight. It's a little claustrophobic here. You can see there's not a lot of foul territory in this arena, and it's all walled in. So there's a little chopper to short over to Lou. The relay and the first baseman can't hold on. They do get an out on the play, but the inning will continue, and it brings up Nano. Top of the first here. And there's a little ground ball. It gets past Chris Harris, rolls into center, and now there's a bobble, and Logan is going to score. So 40 Deuce struggling a little bit on the defensive end. He's fallen behind by 4. Brings up to short center, KC. The one thing about Los Borrachos, they always bring a lot of energy to the game. It kind of reflects Steve's personality, and there he just chops when Moretti can't make the play. Throw pulled him off the bag. It'll be runners on the corner. And it brings up the big first baseman, J-Rod. So just a little chopper to third. Moretti came in, fielded it clean, had a low angle, was throwing it a little sidearm. The ball screwballed up the line and away just enough to pull the first baseman off the bag. And J-Rod is a young player, really a big kid. And he hits a ground ball. This time Harris makes the play, and that'll do it. So we'll head to the bottom of the first. 5-0, Los Borrachos. And we're going to have to take a quick stroll down there to get the 40 Deuce lineup, as they just didn't quite have it ready. As I'm dodging errant throws. And there's the man, the legend, the myth, Francisco Arenas. Now, usually with these, B teams / A teams, you do tend to see a lot of energy, as a lot of the younger kids are going to really play hard every chance they get. So we'll get this lineup card scored away on my sheet here. And I don't think I went through all the rules. 60 feet on the bases. You can lead off, you can't steal. Since we're playing no glove, the pitcher gets a drag step. 1 step left, right, or back off of the pitching rubber. Gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. A fake or a throw to a base is one of those fakes or hesitations. Leadoff man Anthony playing left field tonight. 6-12 on the arc. Again, if the ball hits the roof in fair territory, it's in play. There's a ground ball to the short center, and the lefty makes the play for out number 1. Good job there by the short center. KC, he is left-handed, so we'll keep an eye on that. And we'll see whether or not that hinders his ability to maybe turn double plays when the ball comes from the third base side of the infield. Here's Jimmy Moretti now. And if you're 40 Deuce, you don't need all 5, but you'd like to scratch. There's a ground ball right to J-Rod. Sits on it, makes the play. So 2 up, 2 down. It brings up Yuri playing right field today. Of course, Los Borrachos did take a big step up last year in class. They lost in the championship game of the SSA Exarnic No Glove Class A National Championship. They end up getting double dipped by the Dirty 38s. And up until that point, they had been showing great progress. And they actually beat the 38s Saturday late afternoon. And the 38s came back through the losers bracket to win the tournament. And they had a couple of great players. The rumor is there could be some player movement. And we'll see if Steve-O can hold on to his guys, because they were well on their way to becoming a very good, very solid A team. So it's going to be LeBron leading off. And then we'll see. Not sure if they're hitting 11 or 12, which is allowed. I don't think so, because looks like Sean Quinn is on deck. And LeBron hits a soft fly ball to center, and it's going to drop. Center fielder can't get there, so it's a leadoff single. And this dome is a little bit deeper than Rosemont. You can see it's a long way from right center to the left field line, a little shorter if you pull it right down into right field. So here's Sean Quinn, and he drives one down the line. Fair ball. Straight as an arrow. LeBron is going to score. 6-0. Los Barachos off to a sizzling start. And it brings up Dom Jacoby. So Los Barachos just smoking the ball here, and Dom rips it toward the alley. Center fielder's there, another run scores. Dom Jacoby, 2 for 2. Just absolutely got a flat pitch and just sat back and jumped all over it. Just drove it up the alley. Center fielder did a good job to cut it off, but does score another run, and here's Rocco. And I think if you pull the ball and it hits on the roof above the green in the outfield, it might be a home run. That's going to be off the roof, and that's going to be a little infield hit. Again, I think a lot of times what happens, and we talk about it all the time when we're up in Rosemont, is the fact that, see, the problem here is there's an overhang, so it's a very difficult for an umpire to gauge if the ball hits the roof in foul or fair territory. But what we always talk about in a dome, because the roof is in play, that you have to, as an infielder, you can't become a statue. So when that ball gets pulled like that, if you're the short center, second baseman, you got to be thinking that you got to come toward the ball in case it deflects to where you're at. So here's Tommy Angston, first and second. And Tommy drills it into right field. Another run's going to score, and the big guy's going to get to third. And they really didn't have a shot at him there. As a coach, you'd like to see him throw it into second, keep that double play in order. So Angston, 2 for 2, brings up Church. So you see 40 Deuce just trying to slow this thing down. And Francisco Arenas, who's capable of pitching, he's going to go ahead and leave Chris Harris in there for now. I'm not sure who else the backup pitcher would be. So we'll get back to softball eventually here. And here comes Church. And Church tries to go down the right field line, and that hits the side above the netting. That ball clearly was foul, and nobody could make the play. It just kind of rolled along that top of that sidewall for a little bit. And Church now ground ball. Lou Rossi, a nice play, but another run does score. and they push it to 9.
Hey, good deep last time. Hey, 1 in, 1 over.
So my guys are texting me. Apparently Loyola beat Princeton tonight on the road. Drew Valentine trying to get a handle on a lot of new guys there. Here's Jake Zeman, runner on third here. Many of you who know me know I'm a college basketball freak, especially when it comes to Loyola, where I went to. So Chris Harris right now, as they say, is just not fooling anybody. As Baracho's been getting pretty much whatever they want, but he does strike out Jake Zeman for the second out of the inning, and it brings up Logan.
Hey, KC, this is the first time I see your name.
And Logan, a little ground ball, and Cias throws across. So at the end of an inning and a half, it's been all Los Barachos at this point. And that's a tough thing. 40 Deuce got a lot of younger kids, less experienced. And Los Barachos, they got a few guys playing with them tonight. Like this guy right here, Sean Quinn, Junior Villalobos, is out here as well. So they got a nice looking squad. I think they're going to be tough the rest of the night. And there's the guy I always got to have the mute button on for. Of course, Jake McTeague. Jake will go anywhere there's a 16-inch softball involved. So it's going to be George, Lou, and Josh here. Again, trailing by 9 in the bottom of the second. If you're 40 Deuce, you got to get rolling. And there's a little ground ball to second, and they make the play. So right now, you can tell 40 Deuce is just, I think, trying to catch her breath here a little bit. So it brings up Lou Rossi, one of the older, more experienced guys playing on 40 Deuce. And there's an overhand cut, and he dumps it in front of the center fielder. So 1 out base hit for 40 Deuce, and the Lou cheers come out. And it brings up Josh Cias, Tony on deck. And there's a little flare, and that's going to be out of play. Some of the other teams starting to filter in out here. So get comfortable, folks. We're going to have a few games tonight for you. Hopefully my batteries are going to hold out. Forgot to charge them. So I'm trying to hook everything up and squeeze as much as I can. Sean Quinn, and there's a double play. Lou tried to run into the path there, couldn't quite do it, and that'll go as a double play. So we head to the top of the third, 9-0. So Los Barachos flirting with that 10-run lead. Not sure if they're playing mercy rule out here. They may, because of the fact that we normally do, and this thing might not wrap up until around the 2 o'clock hour, give or take. So they may want to just move it along. And there are areas off to the side. You see they got batting cages and a little bit of an open area over there. So the teams can get ready. So by the time they get ready to jump for a game, there shouldn't be too much of a delay in between.
Last year. No, well, it was a different tournament they had.
So here's Los Barachos up for the third time.
They had one on. Do you guys ever play in that tournament? Or? It's not a tournament. They have a dome though. It's baseball soccer, but we usually have it's right off.
And there's a little off the roof, and there's Lou Rossi doing a good job. He followed it, and they get the out. So Nano hit that off the roof. Good job there by Lou Rossi, tracking the ball off the roof. That's a perfect example, and brings up KC. A little slap and run to third his last time up. Of course, we got a lot more softball coming up. We'll be back in Rosemont now that we got this Facebook cleared up. And there's a fly ball the other way, and that'll be an out. I don't know why the titles keep getting screwed up on my videos, folks. So that's something we're going to work on. I think it might be tied to a glitch that we had with Facebook. So KC flies out to left and brings up J-Rod. If you're 40 deuce, you could certainly use a goose egg. So we'll have more softball throughout December, through December, up in Rosemont. We'll see if they put a spring session together, full count. And then, of course, Turkey Bowl coming up in 13 days. And there's a hard ground ball, little bobbled by Cias, but he stayed right with it. He bobbled it for about 3 steps, but he kept himself active and moving, and he made the play. So J-Rod grounds out. We'll head to the bottom of the third, 9-0. So I believe it's going to be Tony, Thor, and then Tino. So 40 deuce is only coming into this bottom of the third. They've only had 6 plate appearances. They went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first, and in the bottom of the second, they did get a hit, but it got wiped out with the double play. So they have only hit 6. So it's going to be Tony, Thor, and Tino.
That burger was good as hell, though. You missed me eating it. You're supposed to sit there and watch me. Watching the boxes? Yeah, watch the boxes in there. While you're eating and drinking.
Grabs a strike right out of the gate. Jake Zeman has done a pretty good job.
We were watching Christmas game. You have 3 pitchers on the team. How do you have him pitching?
And there's a ground ball up the middle. KC makes the play.
You have Jimmy on the team.
And he's waving the finger for 1 out. For a second there, I thought he was doing the Montumbo, telling him don't go there. There's my guy Popcorn getting ready for his game.
I'm just saying.
So that'll bring up.
No. That's right.
And there's a hard ground ball. Junior makes the play. He planted that front foot and slipped. Did catch the ball clean and from his knees threw a strike. Again, we talked a little bit about this at the Dome on Wednesday. Sometimes guys come here and they just wear gym shoes, and sometimes they will slip a little bit. So I believe this is Tino. You can wear turf shoes in here. Obviously, they don't want you wearing metal. And there's a little roller to the third baseman. Safe. So the third baseman there, Logan, just kind of lobbed it. And Tino beats it out. That'll go as an infield single. And now they're getting a hit for Chris Harris. Man, we got one guy listed as a sub, and that's Jimmy. So this, I assume this is Jimmy taking the swing here.
He's been in my car for a couple days.
I think it's going to be a drop. I think they're going to give it to you.
And again, there are 2 outs here, so Tino's going to be running on the swing. And there's a little soft fly ball. Sean Quinn puts it away. So we'll head to the forts. Los Barachos throwing a shutout here, leading 9-0. So 40 Deuce is having trouble getting their offense going. And I'm going to take a quick break and grab a quick swig of water. So for you inquiring minds, I did bring a water bottle with a flip top today instead of having to screw it on and off. So here's LeBron leading off, and he punches a soft fly ball. Second baseman, easy play, puts it in his back pocket for the first out, and we're back to the top of the lineup and Sean Quinn.
I want to see Icy beat the hell out of Nick Cole. I had the speaker.
Again, we told you it's claustrophobic here on the foul line. And he grabs a strike there. And there's a fly ball, and that's going to be out number 2. So Los Barachos, after really coming out with a lot of energy, the game starting to settle in a little bit, which if you're 40 Deuce, that's a good thing, but not going to win too many games when you're sitting on that goose egg. That's Gio's managerial tip of the day, by the way. And Dom goes hard, just scrape the top of the roof, and it'll drop in. He's going to motor into second, and he'll make it. As the second baseman was covering the bag because Lou Rossi went out there, couldn't handle the short hop. So Dom Jacoby gets a roof-aided double.
That's why I was saying, now you have pitchers where you have George, you have fucking Coach, and then you have Jimmy.
And here's Rocco.
All 3 good pitchers.
And he's in the EH hole where Tommy Angston was. So they must be kind of alternating those 2 guys.
Jimmy, hey Chris, where you starting?
Now Dom Jacoby can run on any type of a single. He's going to score. And there's a fly ball off the roof, and it's going to drop. So everything going Los Barachos' way right now. That's about their third hit off the roof. That was going to be an easy out there. Lou Rossi couldn't get there. Okay, I see what they did. They forgot to put Rocco in the lineup card that they gave me. So here's Tommy Ankston. Of course, Tommy, the head men's 16-inch. See the pickoff there, no good. Tommy, the head 16-inch softball coach at Taft. And Taft has been in the championship game of the boys' Chicago Public High School City Tournament the last 4 years. They just can't get over the hump. And the last 2 years, they were devastating losses. Full count, Ankston to right, caught by the right fielder, so they do not score. Well, I take it back. It is 10-0 halfway through. So Tommy Ankston flies out to end the inning. So it's going to be Hector, then the top of the lineup, Anthony and Jimmy. And if you are Los Barachos, you need to get to work here. As down 10, you're starting to run out of outs. I'm not sure Junior Villalobos just aggravated, fired it off the screen. So Junior aggravated about something. So bottom of the fourth, leading off, it's going to be Hector, the first baseman. His first at-bat of the game. So sometimes it can be 10-0, and it could be, you know, you're not getting a big hit. And there's a little roof shot. So 40 Deuce collects one. Looked like Dom Jacoby had a beat on it, but scraped that roof and kind of died. And there's a ground ball up the middle over to second for one, and they turn the double play. Second double play they hit into. Oh, I'm sorry, that's LeBron playing short. Sorry about that, Junior. I got to get to the eye doctor, I think. So here's Jimmy Moretti. Nobody on base now, 2 outs. So a couple of double plays have wiped out the couple of singles they got, and Jimmy will fly out to center, and we'll head to the top of the fifth, 10-0. So it's going to be Church, Jake, and Logan here for Los Barachos. Right now they got it on autopilot. And again, we're going to have more softball with you guys coming up. Here's Church leading off. And he swings, hit it good, but right at the center fielder for the first out of the inning. That might have been a pinch hitter. That might have been Brandon Smooth. So here's Jake Zeman. They don't necessarily check in with me when they make subs. Jake takes that pitch a little high. Little ground ball. Cias, a little spin. First baseman got handcuffed. Hector could not hold on or they would have had him. Nice play by Josh as he did a little pirouette and threw a strike. So that's going to bring up Logan, 1 out base runner. Again, we are in the top of the 5th inning. And Logan off the wall, and that's going to drop in. So Los Barachos, and now Lou was unaware. Bad communication. Lou had his back to the play. Nobody told him that Logan was coming, and he slid in on the backside. Lou seems to think he slid onto his foot, and he tagged him. It'll be 2nd and 3rd for Nano. Again, that's where your second baseman, pitcher, need to be communicating with the short center to let him know the runner's coming. Because Lou had no idea, and then he turned around late, and by that time couldn't get the tag down. And that's right over the top of us, foul down the right field line. KC is sitting on deck. And there's a little slow roller. This is going to be trouble. Another run's going to score. So Los Barachos, if you're 40 deuce, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. And George, the pitcher, just kind of shaky. He's got a bemused look on his face. Here's KC. Again, Barachos jumped on 40 deuce in the top of the 1st. Had a big 2nd inning. And they just took whatever life 40 deuce had right out of them. KC punches it the other way. That's going to be an out. And another run will score. So 12-0, Los Barachos brings up J-Rod as they're just kind of maybe sending a message to everybody who's here that they're going to be a force the rest of the night. Even with the roof shots, I think Los Barachos would have had a very, very comfortable lead. And J-Rod drives it to center. Center fielder makes the catch. So for playing mercy rule, it's a do or die bottom of the 5th. Coming up. So Los Barachos with a 12-run lead.
You got the score?
If they're playing 10-run mercy rule, 40 deuce would need 3 to keep the game going. So it's going to be Yuri, George, and Lou, 3, 4, 5. Los Barachos still looking for their first run of the ball game. And they've also hit into a couple of double plays, which has not helped. Stranger things have happened, but if you're 40 deuce, job one is you got to find a way to push 3 across and buy yourself some time. That pitch is a little deep. And there's a ground ball to third, and that'll be an infield hit as he just rolled it right over the bag. And the third baseman couldn't make the play. So one on here for George, and again, with this kind of a deficit, there's really not much of a thought process as a hitter. You're just trying to hit your best ball and get on base. And there, he strokes it a little too much, though, and he dropped. And Yuri's going to be out at second. Ball was hit chest high to the center fielder. Yuri was coming back, didn't watch him actually catch the ball. And they'll put a runner in now for George. It brings up Lou Rossi, and Lou looks like he might be coming our way, away from the plate, and he cuts it just over to second baseman. Courtesy runner will stop. You could tell he was coming to the right side. He was way off of the plate there. Had his entire body tilted toward right center and just got it over the top of the second baseman. So here's Josh Cias. And Josh goes right at the second baseman. He'll get the fielder's choice. Hector tried to turn. Josh beats it out, runners on the corner. So 2 outs now. Brings up Tony. And Tony, a little infield pop-up. LeBron puts it away. So apparently, I don't know if they are playing Slaughter. 40 Deuces coming out onto the field as we head to the top of the 6th. So the game will continue. And again, it's only 8:46. This game started at 9. And I know Francisco kind of set this up so that teams could get some swings and some innings, and that may be why they're going to go ahead and keep playing. Unless he's got a higher number. So they bring the center fielder, and they're kind of moving some bodies around. And here's the Junior Villalobos look-alike, LeBron. So you only hope if you're 40 Deuces, you got to pitch a shutout the rest of the way. And there's a short flare, and it drops. And now he's going to try to go to second. He's going to be out. So LeBron wrote a check there that his body couldn't cash, and he's easily out. I think Yuri was a little surprised he went. So top of the lineup now, and Sean Quinn. And he tries to go oppo, and it's off the roof, but that was a foul ball. So Sean will come back in.
I don't know.
Sean slaps that one. Josh Cias for the out. So Josh has had a pretty solid game at shortstop, the ageless one. Still got the good gun. Brings up Don Jacoby. I'm sure his fan club online, who paying close attention. Takes the pitch a little deep. That pitch a little short. And there he hammers it to left field, way over the top of the left fielder. He's going to great job by the left fielder. Showing you he's got a gun. He's all the way by the exit sign down there by the door. Ball hit the wall and bounced right to him, and he threw a rocket to third on a fly. And Jacoby had to slam the brakes on. So here's Rocco. And there's a line drive knocked down, nobody at first, and Jacoby's going to score from second. To make it 13-0. Yeah, Dom's got a chance to be a real good player, real high motor. Every time I've seen him on a softball field, he's busting his tail. Brings up Tommy Angston. Tommy, a little chopper and knocked down, but no play. So Angston on base again. Brings up Church. So we'll see whether or not we go back-to-back or if we take a game off, folks. Again, the hard part is trying to get the lineup cards and then rejigger the third-party software. And Church goes big to center. Center fielder tracking it and makes the catch. And that's a good example. In Rosemont, that ball's a home run. Here, different dimensions. They don't have it put on the wall, but it's anything hit to left center. It's like Death Valley out there. So we head to the bottom of the sixth. Good ride there by Church, but it's just a loud long out. It should be Thortino and Chris Harris, or it could be Jimmy who came in to hit for him. So we are in the bottom of the sixth. It's been all Los Barachos. And they've been very solid defensively. They've turned a couple of double plays, and they have really controlled the ball game from Jump Street. And there's a little chopper. Here comes LeBron. High throw, J-Rod. Great stretch, but just couldn't hold on as he was fighting to stay on the bag, and he ended up dropping the throw. So leadoff man on. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Thor leading off. So here's Tino. And Jake Zeman's done a pretty good job. People always say, how do you know when the pitcher's doing a good job? Well, just count the Rockets. And there's a ground ball to third. A little bobble. Tried to pitch it. They called him safe. Very nice play there by KC on the stretch. I couldn't see when he got the ball. I was looking through his body and the base runner. So 2 guys on now. And it brings up Jimmy with Hector on deck. And there's a little ground ball to second. And he's got no play and the bases are loaded. So good hustle by Tino. Second baseman hesitated, pumped once to second, and then he lost the play at first. And here's Hector with the top looming. This has been the best threat of the game here for 40 Dukes. 13-0. And there's a line drive base hit. So 2 runs are out at the plate. Again, that's not a very smart play. You're down 13. You just scored a run. If the guy isn't going to score without a play, you don't send them. So 40 Deuce, a little sloppy here. And when you're trailing by this many runs, you just can't take that chance. And there's a little flip job. So right off the bat, they would have scored another run. Now they got Hector caught up, but he gets back. So here's the left fielder, Anthony, now. So 2 outs in the inning. Runners on the corner now. So between the double plays and a couple of questionable base running mistakes, 40 Deuce has not made it easy on themselves. And there's a walk to load them back up. And it brings up Jimmy Moretti. He struggled a little bit in this ball game. Jimmy normally an elite hitter. And there he cuts a base hit. 1 run is in, and they'll all move up 60 feet. So if you're Barachos, you got 2. Should have had at least 3. Well, Alex, should always show up at the park. You never know when someone's going to enlist you to maybe play a little bit. And here's Yuri now. And the base is loaded, trying to pick the guy off at third. Couple of base hits here, and they might be able to get this down below 10 with George on deck, a good hitter. It's up to Yuri just to keep the train moving. And that's all you can do. You just got to keep creeping and hope that you can. And that should be the third out, but they played him shallow, but not quite enough. Good job by the center fielder chasing that down. Church got a great jump into the alley. Looked like Erie had beat him, and that might have cleared the bases if it hit the carpet. And we'd have been looking at a 13-6 game. Instead, it'll just go as a long out, and we head to the seventh, 13-2. Los Barachos in control. And again, we talk all the time about the fact that even when you get beat up in a ball game, sometimes the way you finish is important. Because as athletes, you always try to fool yourself you're doing a little better than you can. And as a manager, you'd focus on the fact and say, hey, look, they came out hot and they got a big lead. We didn't quit. But if your guys are throwing a few hits out there, then they feel a little bit better for the next ball game. So here's a pinch hitter. It looks like Chu coming in and swinging. And he hits a ball past the third baseman, and that'll be a single. So he pinch hits and drives a single. And again, that's a situation where if you're Steve Rodriguez, you'd like to get a few guys into the ball game, let them get that first swing of the day out of the way. And there's a ball hit toward the gap, and it drops. Chu's going to get to third, and now they don't throw it into second. Hitter had stopped. The throw was to nobody in general, and he just kept running. So Los Barachos. And there's a little soft flip over the top. One run is in, and they don't challenge the left fielder's arm. 14-2, back to a 10-run lead here. So Nano with a hit, and it brings up KC with J-Rod on deck. Runners on the corner here, so Los Barachos, after jumping out the first 2 innings, kind of drifted a little bit offensively, but here at the end of the ball game, it looks like they're gearing it back up a little bit. KC goes the other way, and Cias can't handle it. Another run scores. Sometimes on this turf, guys are used to shuffling their feet on dirt, and the turf isn't as forgiving, so if you don't pick your feet up, that'll happen. So it looked like he lost his balance as he was stretching and moving for it. So here's J-Rod. And J-Rod, a little grounder to second, over to the short center, and they call him out. You can review the tape on that.
He was safe.
Looked like the big man hustling down the line may have beat it. Oh, now they're calling him safe. So Steve thought he was safe.
My bad. I like the beards coming back in,
That brings LeBron up. I'm not sure, though. Another run might have scored there on that play. And LeBron goes high to Yuri there puts it away. So we head to a do-or-die bottom of the 7th. 40 Deuce needs about 13 to keep the game going. If they score 14, they're going to win the game. Anything less, and Los Borrachos will have sealed the deal. So it's going to be George, Lou, and Josh here. Again, nothing went right for 40 Deuce in the game. There were a series of roof shots. They hit into a couple of double plays, a couple of base running errors, and a couple of errors, and the game got away from them.
And right field, they definitely
And there's a ground ball over to LeBron, a little sinker, but he gets it there. Nice stretch by J-Rod. So here comes Lou Rossi. So we'll be back a little bit later on with more from this mini tournament. We'll definitely be out here late night for you night owls. So if you're heading out to meet friends, when the bar closes or around that time, you might be able to check out some live softball. But please, not when you're driving. So here's Lou Rossi. Choked up a little bit at the last instance, but hit it too fat. And there's that guy out there in center field making the play. Church. He's a good-looking player, man. That's why we always love to live stream some of this BA stuff. Gives us a kind of a peek into the potential future of the game. So here's Josh Ciaz.
Right, because the next game is coming by. So then if Hobo wins, then these teams have.
So hopefully Francisco Arenas has a bracket so I can kind of map this thing out. And there's a cut. Josh gets a base hit. Because he threw it in front of Dom Jacoby out there. So here comes Tony. Down to their last out here.
You're doing it for money. You're not getting set. You never said you would get paid for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were going to split the pot. It's cool. Hey, I ain't judging.
Los Borrachos trying to seal the deal. And Jake Zeman, he wanted that, but it looked a little long for that height. Again, the higher the pitch, theoretically, the closer to the point, the flatter it can go a little deeper. And there's a little ground ball, hit the KC, throw across in time, and that'll do it. So Los Borrachos, all business. They led from start to finish. They sealed the deal in 7. So we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We're going to be back. We love you. Hang